It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, Brock, the fans were out and shouting J-E-T-S, Jets, well before the gates opened here. And now they fill the stands of MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Welcome, everybody, to the booth. I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward for this game. And Brock, as a former quarterback, I know your focus is on the offensive side of the ball ahead of this kickoff.
Yeah, these two offenses are so fun to watch because the best offenses in this league, Kate, they're about trust. And it just pops out. When you study them during the week on the game film, you just see it. They trust one another. That's head coach, that's coordinator, that's play caller, that's to the quarterback, and then certainly the 11 on the field. Both these groups are getting it done.
Ball is teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And away we go from East Rutherford. Xavier Gibson now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. And bringing them out, an electrifying runner and a former first-round pick back in 2021, Justin Fields.
There's still lots of people around the NFL that believe that Justin Fields' best football's in front of them. Major believers of him as an upper-tier quarterback. And the reason why, Kate, is he's got physical traits that are just unique and different. He can run it like a running back, and he can spin a football as well. In fact, that running ability is some of the best in the game. But just continuing to build and refine his game as a passer between the tackles, that will be the key to the longevity of his career.
Into the hands of Garrett Wilson. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. They'll motion a tight end left. Here's Breece Hall on the ground for the first time. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. Second and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical third down.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, Fields. That's caught for the first. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Fields out of the gun. He gets it complete to Josh Reynolds. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And he's going to run this down to the 36-yard line. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
The give on 2nd to Hall. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Great opening drive continues. 1st and 10 at the 33. They go right back to Hall. And he made the most of his running room on that one, getting it down to the 27. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
2nd and 3. On target to his man Taylor. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, short of the 15. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
From the gun, it's Hall. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap to Fields. He brings it in. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Fields looking to throw. And he hauls it in for the New York touchdown. The Jets finish up an excellent opening series. Well, he couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Anders Carlson to tack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jets will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here are the Steelers now, taking over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a quarterback who entered our league back in 2018 out of Oklahoma State, Mason Rudolph.
Don't think for a second, Kate, he hasn't heard the noise. Read the comments from the keyboard warriors who say they just want somebody else leading this team. But let me let you in on a little secret. Those criticisms, they can fuel quarterbacks. Make that chip on the shoulder even bigger to prove people wrong and to show I really do belong in this league.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Airing it out to start this drive. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
From the 34. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Now an inside give to Johnson. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Quincy Williams making the tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. That's incomplete left side. DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Pass play now. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
You know, Kate, we talk about these wide receivers all the time and their incredible body control, but I'll say this, these pass rushers in this day and age, the body control they have to get home on these sacks, but more importantly, to create these strip sacks is so hard to do, and that is a master's class in how to take the ball away. Well done.
The second drive coming up now for the Jets offense. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their second possession.
And, Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. That's brought in by Lazard. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Here's Fields to throw. Bails out of the pocket quick. He keeps it and takes off.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 19. Hits him on the in route. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here. It's Hall. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
8 yards to go as they get set on 2nd and goal. Trying again, Hall. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He'll get a couple, and now they face 3rd and goal from the 6.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
On 3rd and goal, here's Fields. And he carries it in for the touchdown. The Jets take a 13-0 lead. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down. And when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Point after from Carlson is up and good. And the Jets drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense for their second drive of the game. They watch their fumble turn into points, so feeling maybe a little bit of an urge to make up for that now in this series. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Back now, pressure on its way. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Shotgun handoff to Johnson. And he found some running room for a nice gain. 7 yards on the carry. Now they've got 3rd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Pass play coming here. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. From the gun, Johnson. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. On the ground again with Johnson. And they make this stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
It's Johnson on 2nd down. Has a lane inside the 25. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 27 yards there. And that's a Steelers' 1st down. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the 1st quarter. Our score, 14-0. More from MetLife coming right up. It's Steelers ball as we return for the 2nd, and they have to be thinking points here. 1st down from the red zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know it's a physical game, all 100 yards of them into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
And he only gets this one down to the 9. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Dropping back to throw. And he's going to go down. Jets brought the pressure and got to him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's what I call an absolute no-no. I mean, that just can't happen down here in the red zone. You've got to find a way to get rid of the football because now you're not only outside the red zone and you put some points that you thought were a guarantee with either a touchdown or field goal, now a little bit in limbo.
Facing fourth down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. It's a 39-yarder from the left hash. Dicker connects there, and that'll get him back to 11.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. He's got a lane up past the 30. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. Now here comes the New York offense. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
Yeah, that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
Fields on first down. Wilson's got it. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. On first and 10, it's Fields. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Fields throwing here. Toward the sideline and caught by Wilson. And that will not be enough for a first down.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Another throw for Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that'll bring up 4th and 3.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
Fields now on 4th. Getting out to his left. He's running for it. It's an 8-yard gain. What a great call on 4th down. It keeps this drive moving.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. On first down, here comes Hall. And they'll get this down to the 23-yard line before they stop it. Call it 9 yards. Looks like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Hall once more. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You know what I like about a second and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. A give left side for Hall. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, kid, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the 17. Completed to Reynolds. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
And the Steelers go in nickel. 3rd down. Now it's Fields. Hall there to haul it in. And he takes it down to the 2, but no touchdown. He's out of bounds. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Fields out of the gun. Catch is made in close. And defenders arriving in support to finish him off at the line.
And the defense was all over that throw, able to stop it right at the line. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in a hurry.
Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, Fields. And he takes it in. Touchdown, New York! The Jets make it a 3-possession game. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine, surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Jets push their lead to 18. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Steelers and this running back headed back out for a new series. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run by Johnson. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete to DK Metcalf. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. First carry for the versatile vet, Cordero Patterson. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Quincy Williams making the tackle. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he's able to get it past midfield and down into the Jets side.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Johnson up the middle. And they make the stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
First down, and they go right back to it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few. He got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Setting up a throw. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along the route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Third and long for him here. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd down's critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, the coach wants to see them convert those.
Facing 4th down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. From the left hash, 54 yards out. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that lowers the deficit to 15.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Wangu now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Fields. That's to the sideline and caught by Lazard. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. 1st down throw for Fields. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
This offense has been in a rhythm, settled in and found it in the first half. But hopefully that sack for this defense can disrupt that rhythm just a little bit. Kind of reminds me, Kate, in baseball when you're facing an elite pitcher, just get somebody on base. Just make that pitcher think a little bit. Hopefully that sack for this defense does the same to the QB.
Trying to find his tight end. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Hall running between the tackles. Decent gain here, but short of the first. They get 9 out of the run, but a chunk of yards remaining now on 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. And he can't hurt you with a return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. The Steelers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And down a couple of scores, Brock. They probably try to get this into field goal range to trim that lead before halftime. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run. He's back to throw. Got a man. Patterson has it. That brings us to the break. The Jets with a halftime lead here in East Rutherford. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida, in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by. Going on a bit of a speed run, it seems. We are flying past halftime and going right to the start of the 3rd quarter. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out comes Pittsburgh. Its offense has it to begin the 3rd quarter. And some opening drive points would be invaluable, Bronk, trailing by 2 scores as they leave that locker room. They're out and set. 1st and 10. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. It was Andre Cisco who hauled him down there. Second down now, 7 to go. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Catch made by Austin. And he's brought down after a short gain.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Back to throw now. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
That was a situation where he got the time in the pocket he needed. There just wasn't anyone open to throw it to. It got to the point he had two choices as that clock is going off in his head. Force a throw and risk a pick, or just get rid of it and cut your losses on the play.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. No return on that punt. And it'll be Jets football. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Fields. Caught by Lazard. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Paul takes it straight ahead. Across the 45 and still going. 30, 20, 15. And he has it all the way down to the 8. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
What an injection of momentum for the offense on that play. With the energy boost in a much shorter field, I predict it's not going to be long, Kate, till they finish this series off.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Look, pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that sack going to cost them some yardage.
And right there's the danger, Kate. When you put the ball in the air, how many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Trying again, following the sack. That one's complete, right side. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Fields to throw it. Has it down close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
They do snap it. Here's Fields. They can't connect as the coverage comes through with a 4th down stand.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now a carry by Johnson. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Trying for the deep ball. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
Not a good spot to punt from. They really want to convert here on third. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
The Steelers set to punt it. And this will be his second effort of the contest. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. And he'll make the fair catch. Didn't make it to the 50. This one just short of midfield. So no return on that punt. And the Jets offense will take over inside of enemy territory. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 43. Finds him over the middle. And he's able to get this down to the 36. That one gains 7. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
First down, ball at the 36. From the gun, it's Hall. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Cole Holcomb there on the stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
The give on 2nd to Hall. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw Fields. Complete beyond the marker. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. That play good for 17 and a first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Flushed out of the pocket. He tucks it and takes off. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Back to throw. Here's Fields. He's on the move. And he scores. It's a New York touchdown. The Jets stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Carlson good on the extra point. And the Jets grow the lead now to 22 points. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff for Patterson. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Back to pass on 1st and 10. This finds Austin complete. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Now an inside give to Johnson. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know why baseball coaches are called managers, Kate? Because they got to manage a lot of situations. And I've realized over time and talking to them, they love taking a situation, a game moment, and making it a team topic. That play, that corner right there, I know this is a head football coach, not a head football manager, but he's going to take that play, he's going to illuminate it to his team and show the fearlessness of his corner making that tackle.
And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Johnson gets it on 1st and 10. He's got to gain a 6 there. Quincy Williams making the tackle. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
From the 39, Austin's there to haul it in. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. He manages a gain of 8 there. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They've got 1st down from the 31. He's dropping back to throw. Completed over the middle. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Now it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. That one falls incomplete and brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on fourth. Here we go with Johnson. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. That was the biggest 3-yard gain you're going to see because instead of a turnover on downs, Brock, it gets them a first.
That was the perfect play call for that particular situation. Gave them enough to pick up a first with some room to spare.
First down from the red zone. This one's caught. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a first and goal.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete. Great defensive effort to reject that one. It's second and goal.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
From the gun, Johnson. And he's brought down for a loss.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, and instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
Third and long for him here. And they will score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers get it back to within 2 possessions. Pat Fryermuth, the touchdown. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
He's throwing for it! Escapes it. A lot of players around this one, and it is intercepted!
Those defenders, they're just as excited as the fans when the offense signals they're going for 2. It's a chance to directly keep points off the board and really show some of that swagger that good defenses have.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Gibson now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Jets offense now set to take over. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Fields out of the gun. Buying some. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. But the problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers, and they got one right there with that sack.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Another try following the sack. Escapes the pocket. He'll try and run this. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a pickup of 34 yards. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
Finding Reynolds. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. He picks up 15 on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. They run. Here's Hall. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I don't know, kid. I didn't think he had it. But that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
The drive picks up here. 1st and 10. Here's Hall once more. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Wilson's got it. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Out of the shotgun, Fields. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
1st and goal now as they try to pad this lead. They'll run here. It's Hall. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Backed up to the 8 here. It's 2nd and goal. Trying again, Hall. And he gets them a little closer to the end zone, down to the 6. He gets 2 on that run. That brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
On 3rd and goal, here's Fields. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face, because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And make this a 19.3 score advantage.
I think you could call this one now, Kate. This field goal makes it a 3-score game, and even the most improbable comeback attempts are going to have a hard time erasing that type of deficit here in the final quarter.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing it to start this drive. Freiermuth there to bring it in. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Trying to throw here out of the gun. He completes it in traffic. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
2nd and 1. Catch made by Austin. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Offense in the hurry up here. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Buys time, rolling right. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
Working quickly here. 1st and 10, looking to throw. Breaks free in the center of the field. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's a Steelers 1st down. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Steelers trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Looking to the air here. This throw is caught. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
Chris Boswell for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers shave some of the lead. It's down now to 12. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And the Jets are able to recover the kick. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. The Jets are headed back out there now, led by Justin Fields. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. And right away, we get a timeout from the defense. 1:51 to go. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They go right back to Hall. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs. Timeout taken by the defense. They're second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Ball at the 33 for first down. Here's Hall. And this is down across the 30 before it stopped. The Steelers use their third and final timeout, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Hall running between the tackles. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make third down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap to Fields. That's complete to Wilson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. This will be a nice win for the Jets, who draw closer to it as they take a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the win goes to the Jets. They did their part, Brock, defending the home field, using that advantage to secure the victory. We know home field advantage